of Lundgren Team at SERHANT is a nationally ranked, industry-leading real estate group specializing in luxury properties, new developments, Billionaires Row in New York City, South Florida, Connecticut, led by Nile Lundgren, one of the most sought-after professionals in high-stakes luxury real estate and the star of Netflix's Owning Manhattan. The team has represented buyers, sellers, developers, and hundreds of successful transactions totaling $500 million in sales. So Nile, congratulations.
Thank you.
Your show and all your real estate success.
Thank you, James.
Just great to have that. So what are you seeing with ultra high-end buyers, particularly in New York right now?
Yeah. So in New York City, the ultra high net worth buyer is here. They're not going anywhere. I thought with the new mayor coming in, there was going to be a lot of fleeing from New York to Florida. That was what all the headlines said. But in fact, it's not necessarily the case. I have a $50 million listing on Billionaires Row in 157. I got an email from somebody who's living in Tribeca right now. And he said, you know what? I was debating whether to go to Miami or Palm Beach, but I'm thinking I'm just going to live on Central Park now. And that was very interesting to me because I thought listing a $50 million apartment right after the new mayor was elected that everyone was going to run. But in fact, they were debating it, but now they're going to stay in New York. And what I've seen recently, not only from the luxury market, is we have a lot of buyers that are looking for value. They're looking for exclusivity. They're looking for lifestyle amenities. It's not so much just to have a gym in the building. It's about having air filtration, water filtration, porte cochere, everything that you could want in one ecosystem is very, very valuable. One building in particular is 80 Clarkson. It's a building built by the Zeckendorfs. It's an incredible property, but it has over 50,000 square feet of amenities, from movie theaters to, fitness centers, pools where you could see out onto the water, into the Hudson. So there's a lot of these types of properties that are out there that are a little bit under the radar to the normal person, but the ultra high end, the super luxury buyers are there and they're buying right now. For example, you'll see on the show on Owning Manhattan, we had a transaction. It was 150 Charles. The penthouse sold for $60 million and it broke a record downtown in terms of price point. So that is what's happening right now. And you would think they would go, but they're here, they're staying, and they're buying.
Yeah, it's incredible. Some of the prices of these apartments in New York and homes in New York. What are you seeing, or what do you think 2026 will have in store for housing?
Yeah, so separate from the ultra luxury market, housing, I think, is going to have an exceptional year. According to the National Association of Realtors, we're going to see a 14% increase in the pace of home sales in 2026. Mortgage rates are continuing to stabilize. We just had another quarter rate reduction by the Federal Reserve, which is fantastic. And I think that's going to stimulate buyers because 73% of all Americans have interest rates of 5% or lower. So once we start getting to that 5% mark, that's when we're going to start to see folks trading out of their current inventory and then moving in to other products. So I think it's going to be a really great year. And I would say if we're going to edge buyers or sellers, 2026 is going to slightly edge towards sellers.
Okay. And Miami, so another market that you deal in, how do you see that right now? And how is that different than New York?
Well, Miami is the sixth borough of New York City. I think it's a very important city to be talking about if you're speaking about New York, because a lot of the buyers that I work with specifically in Miami come from the New York market. There's a lot of flexibility from tax benefits. There's also a lot of flexibility when it comes to lifestyle. You could be on the water. You could be doing so many different things. But overall, the market in Miami is a tale of three different markets. The first market is the old condominium housing stock. That's losing sales. So it's not trading like it used to. But then there's the new development, branded luxury residences. Those are doing very, very well, where you buy something today and it'll be ready in 3 or 4 years, pre-development. And then there's the other sector, which is these mansions, the villas that you see, the Venetian Islands, the Sunset Islands. Those are all very, very much in demand due to scarcity. For example, I have a listing at 221 Casuarina Street. It's in Gables Estates, which is one of the most expensive zip codes in all of America. And I have a home listed. It's an 8-bed, 12-bath, almost 12,000 square feet. And it's listed for $27.5 million. It traded, the house down the road traded for $50 million. The weekend bought the house. So I'm literally in that same enclave.
Okay.
And the amount of interest and inquiries that we've been seeing has been tremendous. We haven't sold it yet, but we're still working through a number of different buyers, heavy buyers in the crypto space, heavy buyers on the financial market space. I think Miami's becoming a very big financial hub globally.
Yeah.
I think it's New York, it's Miami, and Dubai. Those are the three. In previous years, when I started 10, 15 years ago, you know, it was more like New York and London, maybe Hong Kong, right? But now it's really shifted to Miami as a real financial capital, and then Dubai. So those are the golden triangle, as I like to call it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now you've just started the season 2
Yeah.
of Owning Manhattan.
Yeah.
So how was that? You had a big premiere. It was very exciting. Like, how are you feeling about the show?
I'm feeling absolutely incredible. I'm feeling like I'm on cloud 9. It's been a great experience filming with everybody, and just to see all of your hard work actually come out on the screen is really, really a blessing. We've been top 10 globally. We've been top 10 in the United States. So I think from all that standpoint, everybody's loving watching the visibility into the high stakes world of selling real estate here in the global capital for real estate.
Why do you think it resonated, the show, with so many people?
I think aspirational lifestyle is something that's really important. Getting to see a glimpse into what it actually means to live like luxury. People love to see that. That's the first thing. And then also, it's just real and it's authentic. It covers our lives and our hustle to try and be the best that we can be. I think Ryan Serhant does a great job, but he's also positioned the show as the Hunger Games of real estate. So it really comes down to what we are able to produce, what we're able to show up with every single day, and can we close? And that's what makes it such a pressure cooker. And I think that's why people are loving it.
Yeah, clearly. What is the number one question you get asked about New York City real estate?
Well, the number one question I get asked, I'm a real estate broker. I've been doing this for almost 20 years now. The number one thing is how do I get to your level? How do I sell luxury? That's the number one question. And there's a lot of questions that I hear every day, but that's the number one thing. And what I would say to that question is you have to be consistent over time. Number one, it's not like you just start in luxury, but also you need to become a geek, a nerd. You need to literally understand what luxury means, from cars to watches to homes, and what makes a home so unique and rare. Why does this home, which is east facing, trade at a 40% discount from a west facing with tons of open space and sunset views? Well, there's a lot of these different intangibles that you need to find out. And the way that you can find that out is by seeing a new piece of real estate every single day. That's it. That's the mandate. People always ask me, what do I do? Every day, just see a new piece of inventory. And if you do that over time, it compounds and you'll be able to better serve your clients in the long term.
Hard work and details. That's what I'm hearing from you. So,
yes.
Mel, thanks so much for sharing your insight. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thanks.